Hi, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys are doing amazing today. Um, so you might be hearing some kitties in the background because my kitty cat well, she's not really ours. She has another house that she goes to. So she goes back and forth between one house and then us. And so we've been feeding her since forever, basically, since we've been here almost. So she's not, I can't say she's really our cat per se, but she's sort of like our cat. And she just gave birth. And she had three kitty cats. So that's pretty cool. It's her third time, by the way, giving birth. So yeah, she just keeps on giving birth almost every single year. And yeah. Anyway, so um, yeah, I was going to talk to you about something, okay? And that something is actually, um, you know, the celibacy, okay? So I was going to talk to you about celibacy, okay? And I think celibacy in today's world is, for some or for most, is extremely difficult. It's not only is it difficult, but it's almost impossible to maintain because so many things are geared towards sex and everything is so sexualized, and we're almost programmed to use our sexuality as if it's a disposable toy. Okay, and so uh, if you are celibate, congratulations, guys. I've been celibate for um, like 6 years now, okay, ever since I had my kid, basically, okay, and so yeah, and it's it's been amazing. It's been amazing, guys. It's been a truly transformative experience for me, okay, and you know, I don't regret it, not even for a second. The reason being is because celibacy, especially in the long run, it teaches you a lot about yourself. It grows a new appreciation for your body, for your soul. Okay, and so in a sense also it renews you. Okay, and it makes you become more picky with your future partners, and you become more reserved, you become more modest in a sense, and you become more careful, and more selective. And that's a beautiful thing, and I think most of us or all of us should be doing this, right? Because in a sense, right, in a sense, right, and I already discussed this, right? Sexuality, and people become hypersexual because of trauma, for the most part, right? And so their low self-esteem, which comes from trauma too, um, their low self-esteem almost pushes them to seek partners that will validate them, right? That will pick them and make them feel as if they're worthy, which of course they are, but uh, this is going about it in a completely wrong way. And so, you know, hypersexuality is um, in today's world, it's almost praised, especially if you're a man, right? So, and you're taught to be hypersexual. You're programmed to be hypersexual as a male, and other males will praise you for it. They'll high five you for it. When in reality, that shouldn't be the case. Once again, it does come from having a low self-esteem, and from having a low self-worth. And not only that, but sleeping around will eventually, you're giving your power away, you're giving your energy away, your essence away, you're creating soul ties with random people. And when you create that soul tie, you're going to start picking up on, you're going to, um, or at least for a while, you're going to exchange energies, even after the deed is over. Okay, and so you're going to be picking up on someone else's bad mood, someone else's depression, perhaps someone else's anxiety. And this alone will keep your energy low, your frequency lower than it should be. And so this in turn will prevent you from reaching your full potential. It will prevent you from ascending. It will prevent you from reaching your goals. If you constantly have to share your energy by a soul tie, you're, and especially if that individual is toxic, or perhaps they're not the best individual, then you're, it's like putting a rock on yourself or tying yourself to the ground. Okay, you want to move on, you want things to happen for you, right? But they're just not happening. And in the spiritual world, it's understood why, right? You can understand. But physically, you're like, what is going on? Am I just unlucky? Like, things are just not moving for me, right? No matter what I'm doing. So, once again, guys, this can go back to sexuality and hypersexuality, okay? And like I said, you are giving your energy away, you are giving your essence away, a part of you, right? And so that's why in the Bible it says, sleeping around is such a fornication, right? It's such a sin. Um, Sleeping around, right? And really sharing your body with, even the term, with whomever, right? Even the term boyfriend, girlfriend, guys, it really shouldn't be this way. We shouldn't have boyfriends or girlfriends. As boyfriend, in today's world, a boyfriend and a girlfriend, it's just simply, um, it's like a rental, basically, okay? So there's no commitment, really, no true commitment, such as in marriage, right? And so a boyfriend and a girlfriend, you can take them for a ride and then dump them, right? And just, that's it, right? You took someone for a ride, and then you got dumped, and that's it. You gave your essence away, anyways, right? To your boyfriend, to your girlfriend. There was no true commitment. Um, a true commitment is marriage, yeah. And so, yes, and I think that's why I think we should, because we're sharing our essence, we're sharing our energy, uh, and all that we are, spiritually speaking, we should take sexuality more seriously, and not like some disposable toy, because it is serious. It is very serious. Uh, your sexuality, if you throw it around, it will eventually negatively impact your life in more ways than one. And here you are, you'll be thinking that you're just simply unlucky because so many bad things are happening to you, right? And you're attracting certain individuals into your life, and just everything starts falling apart because it's like a chain reaction, right? And so you don't want this to happen. You don't want this to happen. It's not a good thing, okay? So share your body. One thing that celibacy teaches you is to, through celibacy, guys, we not only restore our energy, we call our energy back, right? Fully. But we also learn to respect ourselves more. We also, God, in this sense, renews our mind. God renews our mind. And we go back, and guys, I don't know if any of you have children too, right? But children teach you this too. Children see the world with such a innocent, from such an innocent standpoint, that they also teach you to view the world in the same way. So their mind hasn't been hijacked yet, and not everything, I mean, nothing is nothing is sexual in nature for a child, although Freud thinks otherwise. But I think that, a child is naturally curious. For example, they might be attracted to something that's beautiful because that's just innate in human beings to be attracted to beautiful things, right? So, but it's not the same as sexual, right? In nature, it's like wanting them, right? No, so a child doesn't look at the world this way. And so, as an adult, you grow up and your mind becomes hypersexual. You become that dirty old man or that dirty old woman, right? And so the older you get, the worse it gets. The more your mind gets um, becomes um, not delusional. I think that's a word, the wrong word to use here, but your mind becomes overly sexual and perverted in a sense. Okay, you become perverted, completely perverted, and that's a shame because we're not supposed to be like this, and that's why, coming to God, it renews your mind, right? And so you, instead of becoming worse as you age, right, and becoming more and more perverted and getting into all these like different I don't know, just different things that really shouldn't even be in our bedroom, right? You, God will renew your mind if you allow Him to. If you, especially if you ask Him to, right? Anything that you need, anything that you want, you should always talk to the divine and ask them. So because we have free will, right? And so they will not get involved. Sometimes they will not get involved unless it's absolutely necessary. So that's why you have to ask for anything that you want or need. And so yes, God will renew your mind. So it's like it's going to become, and also celibacy, right? Um, your mind is going to be like that of a child, and you're going to start learning to see this world again and other human beings from that standpoint. Okay, so like if you're a guy, for example, you're not going to be you're not gonna really I think that fear of talking to women is going to go away too, because when you're looking at a woman from an object, like from a place where she's like an object to you, uh, and you she's like a means to an end, right? You're hoping to accomplish something. uh, it's you're going to experience completely different interactions when you once you change that perspective about her, right? Once she becomes a human being to you, once she becomes like a person that has feelings, has thoughts, right, has desires, has her own needs, right? Once you and she's like your sister. Once you change that perspective and once you start looking at it from that perspective, then you'll have a much easier time speaking to girls. And this will also be felt too, believe it or not, okay? Because human beings feel it, they can sense it. Women are very intuitive, very perceptive, so um, this will be felt, and so she will feel more safe with you and being next to you. If she feels like you're not really trying to gain anything from her, you're simply trying to get to know her as a person, right? And vice versa, although this tends to happen more with guys, right, than girls, but vice versa, right? But yeah. So I think guys and girls should embrace celibacy, and definitely they should definitely ask. You guys should definitely come to God and ask Him for to renew your mind. But yeah, but celibacy will help you also renew your mind too, and yeah, and one thing that I was also going to add is that um, once you um, once you begin to look at things from a more innocent perspective, right? Because guys, our thoughts matter too. You know, a lot of people that are like Christians, for example, right? Religious people, they still, you know, they might go to church and do all these, they might dress a certain way, right? But if you look at their thoughts, you know, then you will, their religiousness will no longer matter that much, okay? And so they're basically, they're sinning with their thoughts, right? Their thoughts are not pure. And so, you know, they're, so you have to renew your mind in every way if you want to be like a true, if you want to be like Jesus, right? You have to be careful with your thoughts too, and be careful with, you know, how you're thinking about others, right? And what you're thinking about them, and even what you're, you know, fantasizing about, right? And things like that, right? uh, and so yeah, because guys, once again, right, this also relates, what you focus on, what you are fantasizing about, you can, it's energy, right? So you're sending out this energy, so you're attracting all these things to you, okay? And there's that too, right? So be careful there. But once you renew your mind, right, you're going to start realizing, you're going to recognize how much of our world is completely corrupt and sexualized and perverted. And you're going to see that, you know, so even the clothing that we wear, right? Even the, you know, just the gym wear, I guess. You know, although that's not, that's for another topic, okay? But um, a lot of things that we've accepted as adults and maybe even as teens, right? They're really not that appropriate, although we view them as such because they've been accepted by society and pushed over and over again, right, by maybe influencers and magazines and celebrities, right? And so um, I'm not saying that when it comes to your clothing, I'm not saying that you should be like a nun, right? I think you should still be relatively yourself, okay? But think about why you're wearing the things that you're wearing, you know, and go from there. You know, um, sometimes we wear things for all the wrong reasons, and they might have nothing to do with us just expressing ourselves. It could be because we want attention, right? It could be because we're, I don't know, some, you know, for example, there are a lot of videos out there, you know, that show girls just going to the gym, right, and just wearing nothing basically, and everything is completely revealing, right? Um, and I don't know. Anyways, but I'm not going to discuss this, I think, okay? This is going to be for another video, okay? But you just have to think about why you're doing the things that you're doing, you know? And that includes clothes too, I suppose, you know? Um, but yeah, so sexuality, once again, right? Hypersexuality is pushed onto our society. We are made to think that something that is not normal should be normal. So we normalize it, and at the end, our entire society is operating through this. We're viewing things from a very perverted standpoint, okay? Threesomes become normalized, right? Also, if you consider corn, right? Um, Corn pushes all kinds of different filthy and perverted things. And once again, people tend to, there was this girl, she discussed corn, and she said she started watching it at 11, I believe. It's pretty soon, right? Very soon, I think. Although I think children start becoming curious in their sexuality at 10, I think. Um, like pretty early on, right? I'm not saying they should be exploring it, but I think they get curious, right? Curiosity is not the same as you know becoming sexual, right? Or becoming sexually active, right? I know from myself, I was like afraid of guys until like 15, and uh, and I remember I had a boyfriend, and my I just kind of like we just walked hand in hand, and like I don't know how old I was. I was like 10, no, 12, maybe 11, 12, maybe, I don't know. But anyways, I remember my brother just like playing a joke, and he pushed me into like a dark room with my boyfriend. And I got so scared. I was like, let me out, like, let me out, I was trying to get out, and like, so this is the kind of like a boyfriend that I had, right? Like, and so, yeah, that's different, having that friendship with someone else with the opposite sex, right? That's like what a boyfriend is to a young child, right? Or a preteen. There's sympathy there. Uh, you might kiss each other on the cheek, right, or something. I don't know. Even that is a big deal, right? But uh, sexuality shouldn't come so early, right? It should happen much later. And so, but corn is normalizing all these different perversions. And oh, back to the girl, right? She said she was 11, which is very early, right? And she said she learned about sex and sexuality through corn, and that's just such an unrealistic. Um, it's unrealistic, right? Because they're actors, and everything that they're showing us is, um, it's not real. It's not how uh, everything works in reality, right? It's like watching a movie, right? And movies aren't real. In most cases, they're just, um, you know, they might have some truth to them, right? But most things are not true, right? And so same with corn. And so yeah, the fact that she said that she learned from it and thinks it's normal, that's pretty crazy right there, So yeah, we are learning from those things, and we think it's normal. We normalize it, and then we go around promoting it, doing it ourselves, right? All these perversions, and yeah, before you know it, our society looks the way that it looks now. Things are. I'm not saying everything is completely terrible, right? I tend to have a very balanced approach when it comes to everything. Especially now. But I think when it comes to sexuality, I think, uh, you know, if I were to be honest and to be like your mom, right? If you're a teen girl, I would say wait for the one that you love. Wait for, don't, don't, or a young boy even, right? Don't listen to anyone. Just listen to your heart and wait for the one that you love and that you're truly sure of. Get to know another person and wait for marriage. You guys become one flesh with another person, right? And guys, I've said this to younger people before when they came up to me and they talked to me about this and they asked me, um, I don't know why they decided to bring it up, right? But they did, and I was like, no, just wait for marriage, you know? That's what I would say, honestly. If I had a good mom, she would tell me this, I know, she would tell me, wait for marriage. But instead, I got something completely different, and I haven't discussed this on my channel yet, and I'm not going to just yet, or ever, actually, but yeah, um, so yeah, let God renew your mind, okay? uh, and understand that corn isn't normal. Understand that celibacy is beautiful, and it's something that you should definitely look into. And if you're still a virgin, wait for marriage, wait to find the right person, get to know the other person, because so many people in this world, they're taught to lie. They're taught to lie. They're taught to manipulate. There are all these courses that guys are taking, from the likes of Andrew Tate, that are teaching young men, younger guys, to manipulate, to deceive, to lie, and to just be a certain way, to pretend to be someone they're not, in order to get what they want, basically, and that's terrible. Our society is being deceived in a major way. That's why you should start thinking for yourself. And you know, if you follow your heart, if you listen to your intuition, you will know what to do. You will know the right thing. And I think this applies to both sexes. Males and females, they should stay virgins. And it doesn't matter for how long, until you meet the right one. Sex is beautiful, but it's only beautiful with the right person, and once there's truly love. If there's no love, sex isn't really worth it. To be honest with you, yeah, it might be. It is good. It's nice, right? But it's just not worth it. Especially if done with the wrong person. The feelings afterwards, right? Feeling used and feeling like you've left a part of yourself with the wrong person. It's just terrible, and it's just not worth it. It's like drugs, it's like a drug, right? You take a drug, it makes you feel good, but then you end up feeling like crap afterwards, right? And maybe for even a week or so, right? So it's just not worth it. It's not worth it. It's like a drug, basically, okay? And so the end goal shouldn't be sex. The end goal should be getting to know another person on a human level, on a deep level, really getting to know them, and then pursuing a marriage with them, becoming one flesh, and really, you know, um, attaining that, you know, that, attaining that deep, deep emotional and physical and spiritual bond and relationship. Something that can't be taken away easily, right? Something that's worth it. Something that's going to leave you feeling good and supported and amazing about yourself. Something that will make you feel even better about yourself, right? Because if you're a virgin, or if you're celibate, right? If you've been celibate, um, you you don't want to settle for anything less than what you deserve, you know? And so if someone tells you, oh, waiting for this amount of time is too long for me, then okay, peace out, bye, next, right? Or if someone tells you, okay, I want sex now, right? Sorry, okay, I don't, these are my boundaries, here are the requirements to be with me, right? And so if someone isn't okay with that, then they're not the right person for you. And you should be okay with this. Just know that the right person will stick around, the right person will respect your boundaries, the right person will wait till marriage to be with you, and that's beautiful. And so, yeah, I wish more people, um, understood this, Anyway, so yeah, I don't know, let me know, you guys, your thoughts on this. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Okay, and stay tuned for more videos. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and feel free to check out my books, my courses, and also schedule a hypnotherapy session with me, you guys. Or you guys can also, if you're too shy, if you don't want to do this face to face, then you can also purchase my audio courses, okay, or audios. They're also great. There are various ones that are available, okay, and so I have one for attracting abundance, also one for quitting smoking, another one is for healing, okay, and so there are multiple different ones, so feel free to check them out, okay. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos.